Okay, so who doesn't want to build a resilient mindset? Right. We're taking a deep dive into Unbreakable, building mental toughness for a resilient life today.
Yeah.
And even just glancing at this audio guide,
Uh,
I was nodding along like crazy.
really?
But we're going deeper.
Okay.
We're extracting the real gold,
Right.
the insights that make you rethink how you face challenges,
I like it.
reframing negative thoughts, getting comfortable with discomfort,
Oh, wow.
and we'll even look at the science behind it all.
I'm intrigued.
What are your initial thoughts on the source material?
Well, one thing that really struck me is how the guide says that mental toughness isn't
Yeah.
like some superhuman trait.
Oh, interesting.
It emphasizes that anyone can actually build mental toughness.
Right.
It's empowering, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
What do you think?
We've all met those people who just seem to handle anything
Oh, yeah.
with total calm.
Uh-huh.
But if it's a skill,
All right.
what's that actually look like?
That's a good question. I think it's all about navigating those inevitable curveballs
Okay.
that life throws at us.
Right.
Not about denying emotions,
Yeah.
but managing them so they don't control our actions.
So not becoming like
Yeah,
an emotionless robot.
definitely not. Think about Simone Biles,
Oh, okay.
the Olympic gymnast.
Yeah.
She withdrew from some events at the Tokyo Olympics
Right.
to prioritize her mental health.
Huge conversation starter.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it wasn't just about sports.
Mm.
It was about mental toughness in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And her decision,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't weakness.
Yeah.
It was a powerful display of mental strength.
It really challenges
Yeah.
that idea of just toughing it out.
Right,
It's
exactly.
no matter what.
She knew that pushing through could have been really bad,
Yeah.
but she highlighted self-awareness,
Yeah.
knowing your limits, and supporting your well-being,
Yeah.
even when it's hard.
Absolutely.
That's real mental toughness.
Mhm. Okay, so how do we start building this mental muscle?
Yeah.
The guide mentions 17 steps.
17,
Right.
I'm already overwhelmed.
Don't worry, we won't go through all of them.
Okay, good.
It's about finding the impactful strategies
Right.
and how they all work together.
Okay.
One that stands out to me is reframing negative thoughts.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Simple, but powerful.
Okay, I'm all ears because
Yeah.
we all have those negative thought spirals
Oh.
that just take over.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's like our brains are just wired for negativity.
Uh-huh.
But what if we could just choose a different perspective?
Okay.
Imagine you're stuck in traffic.
The worst.
Infuriating.
Yeah.
But instead of getting all worked up,
Okay.
reframe it
Ow.
as a chance to listen to a podcast
Okay.
or do some mindfulness exercises.
So turning a negative into a positive or a neutral?
Exactly.
Is it that easy?
It takes practice, but the more you do it,
Yeah.
it gets easier.
Okay.
The guide emphasizes.
Our thoughts shape our reality.
Okay, yeah.
If we keep telling ourselves, I can't do this,
Mhm.
or this is too hard,
Uh,
it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
oh, wow.
But if we reframe those thoughts to focus on growth,
Right.
the challenge becomes an opportunity.
So not ignoring the difficulty, but
Right.
shifting your perspective.
You got it.
So instead of, I'm terrible at public speaking,
Yeah,
you think, public speaking is a skill I can learn.
exactly. And this reframing idea
Yeah.
ties into another key concept,
Okay.
embracing discomfort.
Wait, embracing discomfort.
Yes,
But isn't mental toughness about avoiding discomfort?
that's where the guide challenges that thinking.
Yeah.
Growth happens outside our comfort zones.
Right.
And mentally tough people get that.
Mm-hmm.
And they look for challenges.
It's a little counterintuitive.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think about learning a new language.
Okay.
It's tough,
Yeah.
frustrating,
For sure.
confusing, maybe even embarrassing when you make mistakes.
Right.
But that's where you learn and grow.
Yeah.
If you avoid those challenges,
Uh-huh.
you'll never be fluent.
So it's about leaning into the discomfort,
Less.
knowing its progress,
Exactly.
but not like
Yeah.
throwing yourself into dangerous situations, right?
Of course not.
Okay, good.
It's about choosing challenges that build skills
Okay.
and expand your capacity for resilience.
This is making me think about how I approach challenges. I
Yeah.
avoid things that make me uncomfortable.
Really.
Yeah. But maybe that's holding me back.
It's common.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the guide encourages us to reframe our relationship with discomfort,
Yeah.
to see it as growth, not fear.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
So we've talked about reframing and embracing discomfort.
Right.
Those seem foundational.
They are.
What else defines mentally tough people?
Well, the guide has a whole list,
Oh, okay.
but I think our listeners will relate to these.
Okay, great.
One is grit, determination
Okay.
to keep going even when things are tough.
I like that.
Think about J.K. Rowling.
Oh, okay.
rejected by 12 publishers
Wow.
before Harry Potter.
Really?
Imagine that grit.
Yeah, she had to keep going.
Exactly.
Wow.
But she believed in her story,
Yeah.
and her persistence paid off.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that setbacks and challenges will happen,
Right.
but it's our response that defines our mental toughness.
What about emotional control?
That's another big one.
Okay.
It doesn't mean suppressing your emotions.
Okay.
It means being aware of them,
Uh-huh.
understanding your triggers,
Okay.
and having strategies to manage intense feelings.
So not denying your feelings, but
Right.
managing them in a healthy way.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think about a surgeon
Oh, okay.
doing a complex operation.
Yeah.
They can't let their anxiety get in the way.
Right.
They have to stay focused,
Yeah.
making decisions under pressure.
That's a good example.
High stakes.
For sure.
But it shows the power of emotional control.
Grit, emotional control, reframing,
Uh-huh.
they all work together
They
to
do.
build that mental toughness muscle.
You're getting it.
Okay, good.
And the cool thing is,
Yeah.
these qualities aren't something you're born with.
Okay.
They can be learned
Oh,
through
yeah.
practice and effort.
I like that.
Yeah.
So let's dive into the 17 steps.
Whoa, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
I think it's better to focus on a few key strategies.
All right. Sounds good.
That can make a big impact.
What should we look at next? This idea of a resilient daily routine.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like the foundation
It is.
for everything we're talking about.
Uh-huh.
What are the key elements?
Well, think of it like a structure for success.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be super complicated,
Right.
but consistency is key.
Gotcha.
The guide suggests incorporating simple practices,
Okay.
like a gratitude list
Okay.
or some journal.
Does a gratitude list really make that much of a difference?
It can,
Wow.
really.
Okay.
Because when you focus on what you're grateful for,
Uh-huh.
it changes your perspective
Okay.
from what you lack
Right.
to what you already have.
That makes sense.
This can help you approach challenges with more optimism
Oh, I see.
and resilience.
Starting the day with a positive mindset could be a game changer.
Right.
What other habits help with mental toughness?
Mindfulness is another big one.
Oh, okay.
Bringing your attention to the present moment
Okay.
without judgment.
You're right.
It gives you more control over your reactions.
That's really helpful.
Yeah.
I struggle to make mindfulness consistent.
I hear you.
Any tips?
Start small.
Okay.
Even just 5 minutes
Really?
can make a difference.
Wow.
There are tons of apps and guided meditations.
Right.
Find something that works for you
Okay.
and just do it every day.
Make it a habit like brushing my teeth.
Exactly.
Okay.
And speaking of habits,
Yeah.
exercise.
Oh, of course.
Regular exercise is
I
crucial.
don't have to do crazy workouts, right?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Even a walk.
Right.
Or some yoga.
Okay.
It helps your mind and body.
So gratitude, mindfulness, exercise, anything else.
Sleep.
Oh, right.
Is so important.
It's easy to forget about when
Yeah.
you're busy.
Right.
But sleep is essential for mental toughness. When you're sleep deprived,
Yeah.
your emotional resilience just disappears.
You got it.
Makes you more irritable
Yes.
and reactive.
Ow.
Definitely not my best self when I'm tired.
None of us are.
True.
The guide says prioritizing sleep isn't our luxury.
Okay.
It's necessary for mental toughness.
I'm starting to understand.
Yeah.
It's about a daily routine that nourishes mind and body.
Yes.
But what about the people around us?
Good point.
The guide mentions relationships.
Right.
Why are those so crucial for mental toughness?
The people we spend time with have a huge impact
Okay.
on our mindset
Yeah.
and well-being.
Right.
Think about it.
Okay.
If you're always surrounded by negativity
Right.
or people who drain your energy,
Yeah.
it takes a toll.
It's like emotional secondhand smoke.
I like that.
Thanks.
The guide says to be mindful of the energy we let in.
Okay.
Seek out relationships that lift you up.
Okay.
People who challenge you to grow,
Uh-huh.
but also offer support.
So not just avoiding negative people,
Right.
but finding positive influences.
Exactly.
And that includes the media we consume,
Oh, for sure.
like watching news that makes you anxious
Yes.
or following social media accounts that make you feel inadequate.
Right.
Maybe it's time for a digital decluttering.
I think so.
I've noticed that certain accounts
Yeah.
make me feel worse, not better.
That's a sign.
Yeah.
It might be time for a detox.
It's about taking control
It is.
of the information and energy we let into our lives.
You got it.
Just like choosing healthy food
Right.
for our bodies, we can choose healthy inputs for our minds.
I like it.
So curating our environment, both physical and digital,
Yes,
it's like a support system for mental toughness.
absolutely.
And speaking of support systems,
Yeah.
the guide talks about accepting failure.
Right.
Wait, isn't mental toughness about overcoming failure?
It is, but it's also about recognizing
Yeah.
that failure is a part of growth.
Okay.
Mentally tough people don't fear it. They see it as a learning opportunity.
So instead of personal defeat,
Yeah.
it's valuable feedback.
You got it.
This leads to another idea from the guide,
Which is
staying connected to your purpose.
so important.
Why is that important for mental toughness?
Your purpose is like an anchor,
Okay.
especially during tough times.
Right.
It gives meaning to what you do
Yeah.
and fuels your perseverance.
So when you know why you're doing something, you're more likely to push through. It's like a compass when you're lost.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks.
And it connects to gratitude.
Okay.
We've mentioned it before.
Yeah.
But the guide says it's essential for mental toughness.
Gratitude can really help
It can.
when you're facing challenges.
Absolutely. It's about focusing on what you have,
Okay.
not what you lack.
Right.
When you're grateful, it's harder to get bogged down by setbacks
I see.
and easier to appreciate the small wins.
This makes sense.
Yeah.
But it feels like a lot.
Does it?
Resilient routines, relationships, purpose, gratitude. It's a lot to juggle.
I hear you.
It's like a whole mental toughness recipe.
It is a multifaceted process,
Yeah.
but you don't have to do everything at once.
Oh, okay.
The guide says to start small,
Okay.
choose 1 or 2 strategies,
Right.
and be consistent.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
You got it.
Okay, that feels better.
Good.
We've covered so much,
We have.
from daily routines to mindset shifts.
Right.
But the guide also talks about
Yeah,
the science of mental toughness.
it does.
It mentions neuroplasticity.
Oh, interesting.
What is that?
Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability
Okay.
to change and adapt
Really?
throughout your life.
Oh,
Pretty amazing.
yeah.
It means our brains aren't fixed.
Okay.
They're always rewiring based on our experiences.
So we can actually change our brains.
We can
Wow.
by doing things that support mental toughness. Mindfulness, gratitude, challenging ourselves.
Okay.
We strengthen those neural pathways.
One's for resilience, self-control, emotional regulation.
You got it.
It's like training our brains to be stronger.
Exactly.
Like we train our muscles.
It's a great analogy.
Thanks.
And it's empowering because
Yeah.
it means mental toughness is a skill
We can develop.
with consistent effort.
That's fascinating.
Isn't
That
it?
we're actually changing our brains
We
by incorporating these strategies.
It's like a mental fitness routine.
Okay.
The more you practice,
Uh-huh.
the stronger you get.
Neuroplasticity is giving me a new perspective.
Really?
Yeah, it's not just willpower.
Right.
It's rewiring our brains for resilience.
I like that.
This scientific understanding ties into another technique from the guide,
Okay, which one?
visualization.
Yeah.
I always thought it was a bit, woo.
I know, right?
How does it actually work?
Well, it's a powerful tool
Okay.
for preparing your mind for success.
Okay.
By imagining yourself overcoming a challenge,
Uh-huh.
you create a mental blueprint.
Right.
It's like a mental rehearsal.
Oh, I see.
So when you face the real challenge,
Yeah.
you feel more confident.
So if you're nervous about a presentation,
Yeah.
you'd visualize yourself giving it with confidence.
Exactly.
And the more you do it,
yeah.
the more your brain believes it's possible.
It's like tricking your brain
Uh-huh.
into thinking you've done it before.
Okay.
It's less scary.
And visualization uses neuroplasticity.
Yes, it does.
By visualizing success,
Mm-hmm.
we strengthen those pathways,
Right.
making those outcomes more likely.
Exactly.
This is all coming together
Is it?
from routines to mindset
Uh-huh.
to the science behind it.
It's a holistic approach
Right.
to mental toughness.
And the guide says you don't have to go it alone.
Oh, that's important.
It emphasizes asking for help.
I like that.
Isn't mental toughness about handling everything yourself?
There's a misconception about that.
Okay.
Mental toughness isn't about hiding weakness.
Right.
Knowing when to ask for help
Yeah.
is a strength.
It's like admitting you need directions when you're lost
Right, yeah.
instead of wandering around aimlessly.
Exactly.
And it's not just professional help.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's talking to a friend
Or family.
or a mentor.
Yeah.
Someone you trust.
Anyone who can offer support and perspective.
This is making me rethink what mental toughness really means.
What do you mean?
It's not about being stoic.
Okay.
It's about self-awareness.
Right.
Having tools and a support system
Uh-huh.
to navigate life's ups and downs.
With resilience and grace.
I like that.
You put that beautifully.
Thanks.
And the guide reminds us
Yeah,
that even the toughest people need help.
right.
It's part of the journey
Okay.
to recognize when you need help.
We've covered so much.
We have.
Reframing negative thoughts,
Uh-huh.
building resilient routines,
Right.
the power of neuroplasticity.
It's amazing how much is packed into one guide.
It is.
What stood out to you the most?
That's a good question.
Any particular strategy or insight?
Well, one thing that really resonated with me was the power of reframing.
Oh, yeah.
Reframing negative thoughts, reframing failure,
Uh-huh.
reframing challenges as opportunities.
It's so powerful.
I agree.
It shows how important it is
Yeah,
to be mindful of how we talk to ourselves.
right, like the stories we tell ourselves. Exactly.
We have so much power to shape our reality.
We do.
This brings us to a question for our listeners.
Okay, what is it?
We've discussed all these techniques, but building mental toughness,
Yeah,
it's a personal journey.
it is.
So what's one small step
Yeah.
you can take today
Okay.
to cultivate more mental toughness?
Good question.
Maybe reframing a negative thought
Right.
or practicing deep breathing
Or finding a small challenge.
outside your comfort zone.
Exactly.
That's a great challenge for our listener.
That is, isn't it?
It puts these insights into action.
And remember,
Yeah.
mental toughness is a process.
Right.
Be patient with yourself
Yeah,
and celebrate your progress.
I like that.
Keep showing up for yourself.
Okay, that's good advice.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up,
Uh-huh.
the guide mentions common pitfalls to avoid.
Oh, right.
What are those?
One is relying only on willpower.
Okay.
Mental toughness isn't about forcing yourself.
It's about building sustainable habits.
Right, like finding activities you enjoy,
Exactly.
not forcing yourself to go to the gym.
That's a good analogy.
Thanks.
Another pitfall.
Yeah.
Suppressing emotions.
We talked about that.
I did.
It's not about being emotionless.
It's about acknowledging them
Right.
and finding healthy ways to manage them.
Expressing them constructively.
Exactly.
Not bottling them up.
Right.
And finally, the guide says, don't neglect self-care.
Oh, so important.
Building mental toughness takes energy.
It does.
So we need to replenish
Cow.
sleep, healthy food, nature, connecting with loved ones,
All of those.
whatever makes you feel restored.
Self-care.
Yeah, but that's hard.
Is it?
In today's world,
I understand.
we push ourselves so hard,
Uh-huh.
but forget to take care of ourselves.
It's a common trap.
It is.
But mental toughness isn't about burnout.
Right.
It's about balance.
Oh, okay.
Pushing yourself, but also taking care of yourself.
Right.
It's about showing up for yourself.
This deep dive has been eye-opening.
Has it?
Reframing thoughts, routines, neuroplasticity.
Uh-huh.
It's all about effort and the right approach.
And it's a journey, not a destination.
All right,
There will be setbacks and doubts,
for sure.
but with each step,
Yeah.
you build resilience
Okay.
to face any challenge.
Yeah, it's like we forget to celebrate ourselves
I do.
for all the effort we're putting in
It's easy to focus on what we haven't done yet.
instead of what we have
Yeah.
accomplished.
Exactly.
Even the small wins.
Right. Those are important too.
Yeah, building mental toughness is a process.
It is.
There will be tough times,
Oh, yeah.
but each step makes you stronger.
More resilient.
Yeah, ready for anything life throws at you.
Exactly.
This deep dive has been so insightful.
It has, hasn't it?
We've explored so much.
We have.
From negative thoughts to routines.
To the science behind it all.
It's incredible how much we learn from one audio guide.
It is. And is all available to everyone.
That's the best part.
Right. Mental toughness isn't some exclusive club.
Right.
It's a skill anyone can develop.
I like that.
Yeah.
What about you? What stood out to you the most?
Any strategy or insight that really hit home? For me, it was the emphasis on reframing.
Oh, yeah.
Reframing negative thoughts, reframing failure, even reframing challenges as opportunities.
Yeah.
Can make such a difference.
I know, right?
It's amazing how a tiny mindset shift can change everything.
Totally agree.
It shows you how important it is
Yeah.
to be mindful of our inner dialogue.
The stories we tell ourselves.
We have so much power over our own reality.
And that brings us to a thought for our listeners.
Oh, I like this part.
We've talked about all these tools and techniques, but building mental toughness is a personal journey.
It is.
So what's one small step
Yeah.
you can take today to cultivate more mental toughness?
That's a good question for our listeners.
Reframing a thought, practicing deep breathing,
Finding a small challenge.
something outside your comfort zone.
So many options.
It's about putting these ideas into action.
And remembering
Yeah.
that mental toughness takes time.
Be patient
Celebrate your progress.
and keep showing up for yourself.
I love that.
So on that note,
Yeah.
we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Into Unbreakable, building mental toughness for a resilient life
We hope you've gained some valuable tools and strategies.
for your own journey.
Until next time,
Yeah.
keep diving deep, keep learning.
And keep striving to be your most resilient self.